Einen schönen guten Tag, meine lieben Freundinnen und Freunde von sowohl Kino Plus als auch von Genre Geschehen. Heute haben wir was ganz Besonderes. Der Tino, der André und ich, wir sitzen hier mit Dan Trachtenberg, dem Regisseur von unter anderem Prey, Killer of Killers und Predator Badlands, die jetzt gerade im Kino gestartet ist. Und damit er jetzt auch was versteht, switchen wir jetzt auf jeden Fall erstmal zu Englisch. Dan, very nice to have you here. Thank you for your time.
And to hang with you guys.
And we hope we can have a little nice chat about everything that belongs to your movie and the Predator franchise itself.
Awesome, awesome.
So, can I start?
Sure.
Yeah? I would like to know, what do you think are the most or are the core elements of every Predator movie? And which one is literally untouchable or sacrosanct?
The 87 original is the one. And I think even in that film, the thing that was so surprising that I now take as core to the franchise was that it's a movie that started in one genre and then became another genre and another, you know? That is why that movie is so special. It starts out and you think you're just going to watch a classic Arnold military action movie, and then it becomes a slasher movie and a science fiction movie and a horror movie and a survival tale. You know, it's something that I've carried forward through Prey and Killer of Killers and now Badlands, that there's conflict in the story before the predator even shows up. In Badlands, of course, the predator's up in the beginning, but there's conflict with him and his family before the villain of that story even shows up. So, yeah, I think the genre mashup is a huge part of the Predator franchise, and of course, the design and all the aesthetics of it have so many, you know, from the runic language that we've now really taken to the nth degree in Badlands and treated it like it was an actual archaeological discovery, not just some cool looking ruins, which it wasn't in the first movie, but we developed an entire language to make that has like grammar and structure and was built to exist as if it would have come from the ecology of the predator's face, from the way that its mouth is shaped and the throat sounds that we've all known it to have. Its armor, its trophies, and all of its weapons. I've always felt like there's something in the franchise that is similar to the James Bond franchise and the fetishization of gadgetry and the wish fulfillment of seeing how they are used is something that's always been a joy in a Predator movie, and I think is a hallmark that started with that original film.
Talking about the language, when you came up with all the language and the science, were there any influence or inspiration you took from to develop all this in the universe?
How complex is it?
I should say it's very complex, and I didn't develop the language. I found a linguist who specializes in such things, and he developed it just took a little bit of inspiration, because truly I work with Alec Gillis as well, who's our head creature designer and was there on the original 87 movie working under Stan Winston. And admittedly, those runes just were there to look cool. So this guy, Britton, really concocted them and organized them in a way that they made sense for any language nerd to really geek out over. And there's a very specific sentence structure now. It's kind of Yoda speak, where like the name is last and what it does is for noun before subject or subject before whatever that is. As you can see, I did not develop the language. And yeah, like I said, like all of it, there was some language in previous movies and comics, but to his expert ears, none of that truly made sense with the way that their mouths move. So all that was redefined, and it holds water. It's a fully functioning, living and breathing language.
Can you say a sentence?
I can't. I literally can't because my mouth like doesn't do it. That was so remarkable about Demetrius, is that he could perform it. But I can't, even in Spanish, like I can't roll my R's. And there's a lot of rolling of the R's. I just say trill, you know, like when the predator trills. So yeah, no, I can't even delight anyone with a version of it. Elle actually has to speak some Yautja in the film and does a tremendous job. And that's more like what it would sound like if a human were to speak Yautja, which is a little bit different than when you have the mandibles and the throat structure.
And you already said that the runes were just there to look cool, but now it feels like there's a more organic approach to the whole lore stuff, because he can't just pick weapons from his arsenal, so he has to work with stuff that's already there. So it felt, for me, it looked more organic, the whole approach.
Yeah, there's definitely fun in the movie where you see him. Someone pointed out to me, and this was not conscious, but I am a huge gamer. And the movie functions like a video game in some ways, in that it starts out and he's got a whole bunch of weapons and then he loses them and has to survive without. And that's a lot like when you play video games. You play the tutorial level and you've got all the abilities, and somehow something happens and they're stripped of you, and now you've got to build back up again. And just really didn't want the predator to feel overpowered, and wanted people to feel a little bit more linked to it and see how it does as if it were Dutch in this movie, and needing to survive using the elements. And of course, we still find a way to embrace what we love and see how there's analogs for some staple weapons in what he uses on the planet.
I think I would say, bio armor was a nice reference to the first one, because Arnold was also relying on natural things to fight against overpowered predator, and so I was very delighted by his new armor. But if we are there, how do you create, or when do you create the whole world and all the creatures and all the plants? When did this stuff came into the story?
We actually were doing, because of the schedule and wanting our desire to really get the movie going, I started doing concept art before we even had a script. This is this artist that I've always looked up to, Andre Wallen, who did a bunch of really cool things on Star Wars, and he did some of the initial pieces that had the predator in what was actually more of a snowy environment with this really spiky snow. And that inspired the thought of the razor grass. Because the thing that I love about Badlands is that the environment is as deadly as the creatures, you know? Everything from the blades of grass to the trees or the flora and fauna or the tiny bugs are incredibly deadly and trying to kill him. But didn't want to just make things look or design things because they looked cool. In fact, it's actually more challenging to come up to just stare at a blank page and go, how does this look cool or look different than we've seen before? Really try to approach it from a more narrative perspective and think, well, if the grass is razor sharp, and there needs to be a creature that grazes inside the field, it would have developed hide that has like antler style armor to protect itself so that it can graze. And that means that the bugs that it would eat would also have a defense mechanism. Really thinking through the ecology of and the way the planet would have evolved, so that it all makes some sense, you know, and feel like a little bit more naturalistic. But it was the fun that we had of Prey, of feeling like it was in some part historical drama before it became a Predator movie. I wanted, because of that, it had a little bit more veracity to it, and wanted to make sure this movie had that feeling as well. Yeah.
And Prey had this, like, it was very small movie. Like, it felt very very organic and small. Now you have this huge world, a different planet. So how difficult was it to scale this planet, and how did you work with, like, the mixture of digital but also practical effects in this environment?
We were very lucky in that we got to shoot the movie in New Zealand, which is absolutely breathtaking and beautiful, and I think oftentimes featured in more fantasy movies, not as much in science fiction. I've always felt like fantasy is traditionally forests and sci-fi is traditionally jungle. Mm-hmm. And we've seen the Predator in a lot of jungle, and love that New Zealand provided this interesting mixture of both of those things. And we shot most of the movie on location, and then just worked with visual effects artists to enhance what was already there, rather than completely replace, so that you always feel immersed in the world, and it carries over that naturalism, that sort of Terrence Malick-y aesthetic that was a huge part of Prey, and what I'm drawn to. It's ironic because I love sitting on a couch, playing video games, dreaming up whatever I want to dream up, and really don't love being out in the outdoors. And after Prey, I was like, okay, the next movie, I'm shooting all on a soundstage, in a cozy environment, no animals, no visual effects. And then I had this idea for Badlands. And I have to chase the cool, you know, I can't let my personal, you know, but frankly, had a really great time, in the adventure of it all. Filming, made me feel like I was, there was a sequence where we shot in this, like, trench that was filled with water, where the squirt creatures, come in the movie. And the waters were, like, infested with eels, friendly eels, but eels. And we had to wear these, like, hip waders and trudge through. And if you had told me about that, I would have maybe thought twice about even making the movie. But I must say, it made me feel like a kid who fantasized about being a Goonie. You know, like, I really felt like we were all having an adventure together. And the movie is so much cooler for being filmed in those crazy locations. Yeah.
You have already mentioned the name, You have already mentioned it, and I've also read about your that you compared yourself with Terrence Malick during the filming in
I am not comparing myself to Terrence Malick.
Your filming
by any
style,
stretch. I'm such a fan that I'm taking whatever inspiration I can from the master that is Terrence Malick. I am not comparing myself to him, but I know what you mean.
But you compared the filming style, the directing style. Yeah. Can you explore a little bit more what you mean by that?
Truly just aesthetically, like, trying to shoot as much using the natural light, and setting things at dawn and at dusk, and letting the moments breathe a little bit more, allowing the natural textures, hearing the wind, and chasing light and that kind of thing.
Because he's a really big fan of Terrence.
Oh, me too. One of the mixers on this movie mixed quite a few of his movies, and had a lot of fun stories to share. Yeah.
So my girlfriend gave me a Badland poster for
Oh,
Christmas.
really?
So maybe there will be another Badland.
I am waiting for someone to do a little trailer mashup of sticking Deck inside the original.
It might happen.
Badlands trailer. I would love it. I would love it. Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah, but when in the
Mach.
option. Okay. And so every Predator movie for me felt like there are some elements of buddy movie in it or like buddy comedy movie, but now in Badland it feels like the power dynamics between the main characters are more like lone wolf and cub or maybe man on fire. What was the inspiration for the shifting power dynamics between them?
Yeah, no, it definitely that style of movie, True Grit, has a more direct analog, Midnight Run. I think because Prey was such a solo tale, I was anxious to have, and even though I loved the dynamic of Nadu and Suddy, her dog, which came from the silhouette of Mad Max and his pup in Road Warrior. I always think about movies sometimes in terms of like iconography and silhouettes. And when I was thinking about what kind of relationship could be in this movie, and I did not want there to be any humans in the movie because then I knew that was going to steal from the promise of the premise of like Predator is the main character. Then went to like human and monster and robot, you know. And I guess then thought of like that silhouette from Empire Strikes Back of Chewbacca with C-3PO strapped to his back, and like the cool of like having a severed robot strapped to Deck's back that he could use as a tool, and what that means in action sequences as much as it means in dramatic ones. So that's where that all came from. Yeah.
But it sounds like it was clear from the beginning that this will be more like a juvenile action adventure, like a typical, I don't know, like a typical journey younger kids would like to see.
I mean, for me, a little bit. I mean, one of the main structural inspirations was like there was a Ray Harryhausen Mysterious Island. It was a Jules Verne story my dad showed me as a kid, or like the first act of a King Kong movie. That style of epic adventure that can be for younger kids in this movie only because it's creatures and robots. The blood is white or purple or yellow. The same muscles in me that made Prey and Killer of Killers as violent as they are made all of the same decisions in Badlands. There is still a number of spine rips and limbs being severed and all that. I just happened to luck out that what's happening is with synthetic humans and creatures. So it allows for more people to see the movie, and was the gift I wished I had when I was younger, because my parents wouldn't let me see Predator. There's even, of course, the first huge moment of violence, aside from the skinned bodies, in 87 Predator is Jesse Ventura's chest exploding, and our movie has a really fun homage to a chest exploding. It just happens a little bit differently. Yeah.
Do you feel that it's also like some kind of unusual coming-of-age movie, because Deck in this movie is quite weak and he has to overcome obstacles that are larger than him and not fighting against opponent on eye level?
Yeah, I've always been drawn to underdog stories, and I think every Predator film has been an examination of what true strength really is, from the original with Arnold and certainly all the way through Nadu's journey in Prey and quite a few of them in Killer of Killers. So I just love when, and I think that's part of the staying power of Predator and what sets it apart, not just inside the franchise, but amongst Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, is that it's an incredible amount of fun and thrill but also there's something thematic to hold on to, and I love when you can walk away from a movie and still have something to bring with you from it that wasn't just a good time, that there's something that stirs you and fills your soul or it gets you thinking about things. So I loved continuing that and having a real rootable protagonist that's dealing with something emotional.
Music.
Music. There was one thing during the movie I was watching. The whole movie I was waiting, really waiting for the original theme somewhere to, like you did in Killer of Killers in the Japanese episode, just for a moment, like da, 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 da. I was just waiting for it, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So was it a decision not to include it in this movie?
We found a way to include it in Prey, and then really did it all over the place in Killer of Killers. In every chat, it informed almost the entire score is some riff on the original theme, and just started to feel like, okay, we've done that a lot. And frankly, even the movie before Prey, the 2018 The Predator, brought back the real original Silvestri sound. So I just felt like that has happened. We've experienced that a lot. And sonically, we're in such a different place with the sounds of Yautja and Gena that it felt cooler to not do it, and maybe it's something that could come back again after we've had a break from it. But yeah, I know music nerds like myself will be somewhat disappointed. But I love the score of the movie, and was a pleasure to work with Sarah Schachner, who I did Prey with, and Benjamin Wallfish, who did Kill of Killers, and Alien Romulus. So we had a lot of fun creating a really unique sounding score.
And I guess we at the end now, unfortunately. We'll talk for hours.
Yeah, for sure.
But thank you very much for taking your time. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen da draußen. Wir machen jetzt noch ein kleines Quiz. Das werdet ihr demnächst noch sehen. Und ansonsten, thank you and good luck and we enjoy.
Thank you.
Ja, das war Dan Trachtenberg und er zusammen mit uns wird jetzt ein kleines Quiz hier veranstalten. Wir versuchen, Predator-Zitate zu erraten. You will guess the quote.
Gotcha. What are we just blurting it out? Are we saying are we buzzing in?
Like
How
it's
are we?
cool, like raising hand.
I would say raising hand. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
You shout out. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe raising hands is, and somebody from behind the camera just tells us which one was the fastest.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's start. I ain't got time to bleed.
I feel like,
First one.
Who said it?
Blaine. Blaine.
Okay. What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
the first movie, Carl Weathers. Yeah.
No, it was Arnold.
Oh, he says it to him. Okay, well, it's half a point.
He's on safari. The lions, the tigers, the bears, oh my.
Second movie.
Who said it?
Who was it?
Should I have
You know it? Half a point? Sharing?
Gary Busey was it?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay.
Predators don't just sit around making hats out of rib cages. They conquered space.
I'll guess. I'll just guess.
Guess.
Contextually, it feels like it would be from The Predator. Yeah.
Perfect.
The Shave Black
Said it?
movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're aware.
True.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
Sterling K. Brown's character that says it?
Will Traeger.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I got the movie.
It knows how to hunt, but I know how to survive.
That would be really embarrassing. I should have just that's Prey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nadu. Yeah.
Perfect. We run, we die. This is its jungle, its game, its rules.
This sounds like Predators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I can't tell you which
I guess
character said.
it was Adrian Brody.
It's a good guess. Yeah, that's Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one. There's no room for sick men on this expedition.
Oh.
There's no room for sick man? Sick? S-I-C-K?
Sick.
Sick. It feels like that would, expedition, it would have to be the first one. Yeah, but I just don't remember that.
Or the first Alien vs. Predator.
Oh, it is from AVP. Yeah.
I never thought of that.
I didn't know that we were including, it's a tricky thing if those are included in that. Yeah.
But you already merged the two universes together, so
yeah,
we should be prepared.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah.
That's it? Okay, Dan, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
so much.
Really fun.
And I hope we
Awesome.
can continue with that.
Yes, me too.
Thank you, Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen und bis bald.